Hey everybody, this is Blue. How we doing? Hope everybody's doing really good out there. First, a little disclaimer because this might be a long video. One of my pet peeves has always been when people don't understand the difference between a crystal and a stone. I have a piece of fluorite in my hand right here. This is a crystal. It is uniform in structure and generally in color, and thus a crystal. This is a piece of blue sodalite. It is not uniform in its construction, banding, colors, and thus it is not a crystal. I'll be using the term crystal grid probably throughout this whole video, and I know that I have stones that are not crystals in my works. Okay. So I have been trying to learn as much as I can, with witchcraft, how to make improvements, how to better myself. And it takes a lot of work and education to be a witch. So I have been getting into using stones, crystals more in my magical path. Now, I've always had some stones on my altar because some of them represent something to me, like this piece of snowflake agate. This is heart-shaped, which is important to me, and then it is an equal balance of white, gray, and black. And balance is a very important aspect to my path, both magically and spiritually. And so I like to have some stones in there. But like I said, I've been wanting to improve myself, and so wanting to learn about everything. I've been spending a lot of money, and a few $100s later, I have some very unique pieces that I absolutely love. In using stonework crystals, they love to say that shape is important. And I have not ruled if that's true or not yet. But for example, in crystal grids, they were saying that if you were to use a sphere like this milk quartz sphere, it would, as your centerpiece to your grid, it would create a sphere of energy around you, your house, and all that, to protect whatever the purpose is of this particular stone grid. And some will say that you can use a pyramid like this, grain of enterite, and you can use wands such as my indigo Gabaro wand here. So there's a lot of information out there. Unfortunately, I walked away rather disappointed. I have watched at least 30 videos on crystal grid making, and I found a complete lack of consistency between videos. Some people are saying that you start in the middle and work your way out, or you work yourself out and work yourself in. The first thing you put in is your focus stone, which is usually a big stone. So if I wanted to use the biggest I got, I have my little pyramid here as a focus stone. But it could be of any shape, just like my, I always have problems with this one, Kambaba Jasper, which is a beautiful combination of greens and blacks. So it was bothering me that I couldn't find anything consistent. They were giving you all these different ways to energize your grid, and again, everybody was doing it different. So let's just say the grid was built They were saying that there was one lady that was saying you had to have a selenite wand to energize. And you're supposed to go around and tap each one in your pattern. I only liked one part of it because she went around 3 times to energize her grid, and the 3 is important to Celts, and so I agreed with that part. Another thing that they were saying is you had to have an Energizer super crystal. And in that video, the lady used a large piece, of course, like what I have here. She would have had everything set up for her grid except for the very bottom one, the edge, on the circle that's closest to her. She would go around, do the energizing, then have that particular crystal in that empty spot pointing out and supposed to get the energies out. And I was going, okay, to me that didn't fathom very well with me. The other thing I do not like about a lot of this is that they were going on these color coordinations, which is fine, but I hate color magic. I absolutely hate it because let's get the diabetes done and over with here. They have this belief that all stones are protective or healing. I have a piece of black tourmaline right here. I have my milk quartz right here. And they have the same goddamn abilities. What am I referring to? Well, the white can dispel negativity. It's used for new beginnings. Black tourmaline absorbs negativity, and it is used to bring things to an end. So if you bring something to an end, what are you doing? You're creating a new beginning. They made this very new agey, and I hate new age. I believe that colors have multiple purposes. Now, okay, give me as I get my containers open here. Color magic is all designed to be positive, happy. It will make everybody happy. When they talk about crystals, all crystals are, like I said, are either protective or healing. There is no negative abilities of these stones according to so many people. And that's ludicrous at best. One thing I learned when I was studying a little bit of Reiki, trying to understand its fundamentals, and I've had some people that told me that to heal, you also learn how to harm. Okay? If you can heal, you can harm. If you can harm, you can heal. Okay, everything that we have in magic has an opposite effect also. So, black can be negative. They have all the Hollywood witchcraft, which I hate most of the time. But why can't a black candle, not absorb the negativity, but bring it out? Why can't black tourmaline be used as a focal point of negativity to store it, to use it at a later time? Which is why I bought my black tourmaline cube. I believe it's a negative energy battery. Okay. Anyway, what do I have to back this up is this. Yeah. Look for my. All right, here it is. Red jasper, I believe, can be a very negative thing. We think of red with love, that's why everybody takes a gosh darn rose quartz and uses it for love spells. But there is an old adage, you know, he was so mad he was seeing red. Sure. So red, to me, is about strong emotions. Yes, it can be love and all that, but it also can be hate, anger. Okay? And I think this is important because I believe a lot of people fail in magic because since they are taught that these things are only positive, creative, protecting, and healing, they kind of lose a little bit of respect for everything because they believe that you can do whatever you want whenever you want to because it's all fucking good. Well, it's not all fucking good. Okay? They don't have the respect and all that. You know, if we're doing a growth spell, growth sigil, growth crystal grid, people are going to be loading up the green. Like this beautiful piece, it's a low grade piece, but still a very beautiful piece of emerald. Emeralds are green. How could this be used negatively? There's another old adage. You were green with envy. You were green with jealousy. Okay? Green means that you could have growth, but the opposite is you could be going without. You are greedy. You want more. Or somebody that you know right over there could have something that you wanted and you're upset. You are greedy. You are jealous. Green. So, I believe that you can create positive and negative grids. I have been working on some grids here, and I have actually had some moderately good success. I have done some prosperity grids on myself and family, and I have done a couple of negative grids on some people that don't like me. You know, can't please everybody. So, on this negative grid that I created, I needed the picture of the person, in which, you know, it's easy to get, good old computers and all that. And then for the centerpiece, the part that I put over that grid, yeah, I took it apart for the video. I used this piece right here. This is a black onyx sphere. You know, very black and all that. Put that on top of the picture. And radiating out from this picture, I have several pieces of emerald, red jasper, and I have other pieces. This is a black tourmaline piece right here. And I built the grid to make this person angry and jealous. Did it work? Yes, it did. Now, I've been monitoring this person's Facebook, and they were mostly quiet before I built the grid. After I built the grid, they were posting stuff about being judgmental. It was interesting. This person was criticizing people for being judgmental, but then being judgmental herself. So I thought that was quite funny. And she was making a whole bunch of claims. She was agitated, and now she is claiming some type of nunnery crap. So, it works. Now, if you are going to be using positive and negative grids, separate your stones. I don't believe that you can always get all the negativity or all the positivity out of stones. If you put negative energy into it, I think that there's going to be kind of like a scar, a residual amount of negativity no matter what. Okay? And so for me, I have separate containers. This is my positive container. This one's my negative container. Oh yeah, this is one other thing I want to use to prove that my ideas on colors. Now, some people in some traditions view yellow as with health. Yellow is also about sickness. What color is urine? It's yellow, unless it's really bad, then it's brown. But also, what is the color of infection? Yellow. So I have these pieces of citrine. I could get a few more, because I do need more, and build a grid using, like I said, a picture or whatever, and I could create a yellow sickness grid and target somebody. I know that sounds nasty, but sometimes in life we deal with bad people, and good and evil is all about perception. What I do to protect somebody in their eyes and my eyes is good, but the person that they are getting trouble from, they're going to view it as bad. And that's just the way life is. All right. Now, I believe that we can, since there was no uniform way where I thought, okay, this is the way that we should do it, in creating grids, that meant that you were pretty much open to do whatever the heck you want to. And so utilizing the concept of chaos magic, which is just basically trial and error, hey, what works, works, and what doesn't, move on, I have been building all these grids. Now, what I have started to do is incorporating sigils with crystal grids. Because most of my sigils, I always do kind of like an on-paper ritual. I take my big piece of paper and I start on the east and I go around, create my circle, go around 3 times to create my circle that will contain my sigil. Now on that outside circle, that right there is the great place to put some of your crystals or stones. Now on most of the videos, people have been on whatever pattern they're working on. Each set or layer is that stone, that color. Now I believe that for your outside circle, since this is kind of like a spell ritual type thing for me, I want to use colors that portray the corner that it represents. So I would want something green, like I said, with my Kabbalah jasper for earth, for my north. I could use a rose quartz for fire, and then a lighter blue for air for the east, and a darker blue for the west because it's water. Okay? To me, that makes sense. Now, I always create my sigil inside, of course, and here's one for you right there. It doesn't mean anything. This is something that I just created for the purpose of this video, and since it's not an active spell, it's not going to do anything. So, all those blue points that you see on there are areas where I would put a stone. As you are seeing by the words, this is about being creative, so I would put some green in there and purple. And because purple, of course, is a little bit of spirituality. You can also use clear quartz if you want to. Purple, of course. And some green, because green is growth. Now, some of you might agree with this. Now, because of obvious color coordinations and all that, I use my light greens for positive and some of my darker greens that have black in it, like this piece right here. I use that for negativity. And it works for me. Learn all of the folklore with your stones. A lot of stones have legends with it. And we have to learn to respect those legends. Like this piece right here, my onyx. I was told as a kid by my dad that you only own one piece of onyx. One piece will be protective, but if you have multiple pieces of onyx, you're inviting trouble. And that's what my dad said. And his reference was, you go through like catalogs like Avon and all that, look for black onyx earrings. You don't find them. You might now, but back then you couldn't find them because a lot of people believed you had one piece of onyx and that was it. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Another thing that I have, and I will not use in spell work in any way, is Apache's tears. Now, I had heard a legend that you were supposed to carry 7 Apache's tears in your mojo bag, in your on your altar and all that, because 7 was supposed to be a good thing. And so my Apache tears will never go into a sigil, a crystal grid or sigil. Trying to remember everything here. Yeah, I believe I mentioned it already. These right here, because I was working with grids, I created these pieces right here. This is just air-dried clay. And what I did was I built a stand for them, and then I set a specific crystal wand on them. This is a space saver, and they're talking about with your grid, if the energy goes in and up, well, then you need to have your wand, your focal point, pointing up. And so this is my Indigo Gabbro wand. It is black and gray, so yes, this has a little bit more negative, but I like it. Anyway, I got my fluorite. This is labradorite. Love that. This one, I love the shimmer of it. And so, like I was saying, you can create positive and negative grids with stones. No, I think that was it. Now I get to go to the next topic. Fate. I don't believe in predestination, but I believe that there are energies out there, patterns out there that we need to pay attention to. This is one of them, right here. This is a talisman I built, made for myself. It's just simply a copper plate with a sigil on one side and my witch initials on the other. And I wear this every time I do a ritual. And a couple months ago, I made this beauty right here. This is a copper wand. This is basically plumbing pipe, half-inch copper plumbing pipe that plumbers would use. And inside of it is white sand with several crystals. There are 7 crystals in here. The first one, of course, is quartz. And so I use this for magical work as well, and I've had success with it. A lot of people use wood, glass, ceramic, porcelain for their wands. I had a dream about this, and I was determined to make it. I made it. So, why is that all about fate? I got a new vehicle. Last week, I bought myself a 2015 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport. Yeah, Sport. And spent $8,000 on it, so I got a really good deal on it. And its color is Canyon Copper. Okay, my connection with copper just seems to be connecting everywhere I go, and I think that is absolutely awesome. And the funny thing, my role playing that I've been working on, I have this love for dragons. obviously, I mean, loose ends dragon. I collect dragons and all that. Well, I was also naming my vehicle. I named every one of my vehicles. I had, in 2006, Chevy Colorado that was DOT orange, and that vehicle was called the Fox because I liked stealthy, cunning foxes. It worked. And, so I was going to name my truck and all that. What was I going to name it? So I was doing some research on dragons, and there I saw it. Copper Dragon. So my truck is called the Dragon. I even got the little window decals for it so that I can, make it more and more of a dragon. I'm just loving it. So these crystal grids work. I have received a lot of positive energy from them. I have improved in my life. In case you guys don't know this, I have a new job. I started a new job a couple months ago, and I'm loving it. The job I'm doing, still doing the same thing, helping people with mental disabilities and helping them live a better life. But I also get paid 75 cents more an hour with this job compared to my previous job. And I work 5 blocks away from my house. If I wanted to, I could walk to work. But I love driving the dragon, so that ain't happening. So my life has been trying to build better witchcraft practice, understanding energies, moving energies, storing energies, and also taking care of people around me. And it's working. I would like to hear your comments about everything that I've been babbling on about. Maybe you have had an experience with a specific stones or shapes or a different pattern. I would love to hear about it because, this is how we learn. We listen to everybody. Because even some bad advice works because we sometimes need to know how not to be a witch. So everybody, please, thank you for listening and back to my babble. Everybody take care. Big peace. I almost forgot. My sister channel is going, not as fast as I wanted it to go, but Witchy Shorts uses the YouTube short format, and I use my animations for making my little short videos. So please check them out, okay? Subscribe and all that fun stuff. So everybody, see you later.